presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. Now to the 11th hole, we pick up with our featured golfer. Been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut. Safely aboard. So they'll tap in.
Sneaking into contention here with that birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West, short at 363 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Could it be? Birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Now at the par 3 13th, and Frank, in some ways, this is vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. His use of wooden bulkheads, plus the fact that he gives you that diminishing line. The further you go back into this green, you realize it's a larger carry. It just sort of reeks of something that's hit to the front mid-right of this green.
Birdie try up next. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
So, Frank, a perfect lie right here. And now this gives him a chance to take the next step, which is get after this hole location.
Yeah, so many more options now. I'm basically just going to come down to club selection now. This is absolutely perfect. This is one where he can get a reward from.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
It's a big putt right here for birdie. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie sitting comfortably inside the cut line.
That was a great first day up there, Rich.
I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of birdies, excellent play, and some impressive names on top of this leaderboard. Anybody's game. Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the California Classic. Frank, how about this hole, the par 5 11? Long one.
Oh, it is. And, anything over 600 yards, only the longest it is the Bubba Watsons, the Dustin Johnsons of the world. The other ones that can get home on a hole like this. For the other ones, even those bunkers down the left side are sort of in play. You at least have to give them a cursory look off the tee. Nothing wrong with a hole, a par 5 that you can't reach. You can still play it as a 3-shotter. And in some respects, you get rewarded for laying up here because that water that comes in on the left-hand side, that's not going to be in play.
Now the third shot here at the par 5 11. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. This one just requires a little bit of focus. With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Frank, now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter. It requires a better shot.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Good swing, good shot yet again. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Yet another birdie and on the march. 7 under for the tournament. Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, it's a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13 is always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there on that left side. And the way it sort of laps up to the wooden bulkhead, it looks anything other than a straight shot. And this is where you have to mentally move the flag. You've got to push that flag in your mind's eye to the right side of the green and say, I do not want to go left of that.
Wow, I thought he made that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
A good effort. Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Settles in over the putt. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
This is EA Sports. EGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live third round coverage of the California Classic. Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. When you break down shots or break down a hole, how would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
Frank, this is obviously a green light situation.
It is, because of the tee shot. A smart layup here gives you the chance to go straight at this flag. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That will be a great look at birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
That birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. 555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. When he goes after it like he is here.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
Is it stopped yet? It's still going.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. A beautiful, soft touch out of the bunker. That's Mickelson-esque. And getting ready for the putt. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 9th, 452 yards, I hear players like you often say, I'm going to take it on. What do you mean by that, and how does it apply to this particular tee shot?
Well, you have options, obviously. One is to hit it down that right side, which is your best shot. The easy way is obviously to bail it out down the left side, but then you're almost giving into the hole, like you're accepting you're going to make bogey if you're lucky. So in the end, you're forced to go back to option A, which is actually to challenge the best shot you have, which is down the right side.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th. Frank, break down this second shot here at the 9th hole.
The second shot's a little bit like the tee shot. We know that the biggest trouble is on the right with the water, but there's also a bunker between water and green. So Pete Dye is enticing you to try and play the correct shot, which is one that just moves a little left to right towards the flag. And there is a little bit of relief. If you just miss it a touch, you're in the sand, not the water. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the California Classic. Solid par 4 here. The 15th is 468 yards. Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. What a shot. Almost in. They par yesterday. This one for birdie. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, and that's a big hit to get past that, then all of a sudden, shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Third shot, looking for a good one. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Just a little tap in here. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Well, let's see, Frank. The par 3 17th, just 168 yards. You can't miss it right. Can't miss it left. Can't miss it short. You can't miss it long. Good luck. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again, water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right, somewhere in between though, this fairway.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. One last good approach here to the 18th hole. Let's see what happens. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there.
Amazing. If you took the three bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.